Hello and welcome to the Single Cask Club. Hello to all our new members, hello to our existing members. Our new members, my name's Guy. This is the Strong Water Co, 70 High Street, Bankery in Scotland here. The way this works, dram number 1, dram number 2, and then don't forget, if you really like them, you can head to the website and get your 10% off on all the bottles that we do from month to month. Also keep an eye out for the ballots that are coming out. We've got some cool ballots. Glenallachie 21's coming out at the end of this month. Also the next release of Little Brown Dog, local, independent, single cask strength bottlers. They'll be releasing stuff at the end of the month. I've had a little sneak peek of that, and yeah, they're pretty cool once again. So look forward to them. We'll send you all an email before we get going, before they go on general release as well, just to give you all the chance if you want to get a bottle first of all. So dram number 1 this month comes from our pals at Lochlee. So Lochlee is an independently owned, family-run distillery down in Ayrshire. Interesting about them, they grow their own barley, distill on site, and distill obviously on site because that's where the distillery is. Grow their own barley, then distill and mature on site. It's run distillery manager John Campbell used to be the distillery manager at Lefroy. Now does this, and this is their cask strength batch number 2. So a bit more about Lochlee. It's formerly where famous Scottish poet Rabbie Burns lived for a while, and they turned the old piggery on the farm into the now distillery. This is kind of a newer take, they describe it as the distillery says. Selected casks of Oloroso, PX Sherry and STR casks to work well at a higher strength at 60% ABV. To show off the amplify, this is in their words, amplify, I've not even had a drink, amplify our signature fruit, nut and cereal flavours. Lovely, we like that, and we like Oloroso Sherry, STR cask, which is shaved, toasted and recharred cask, and PX Sherry cask, so we'll give that a crack. So first of all, colour, that is absolutely marvellous, I think. On the nose, I think it's appley, marmaladey, almost a bit of kind of tinned peach syrups style, or like almost fruit wine gummy style. The taste, give it a crack. Super floral to start off with. Almost like wild lavendery, and then you get that straight away. It's kind of stripped dark chocolate, it's datey, it's caramelly, it's spun brown sugar, but it's thick, fills the palate. And then the finish, it's kind of cracked black pepper, which is a really lovely balance to that sweetness. It's dried fruit, it's more apricotty, it's a bit sweeter in style, it's maybe almost rhubarby in style at the end, but it's full, it's big, it's lovely and coaty, and for the pissy weather that we're having at the moment, I think a big cherried dram like this is just what we all need, and it's the same with our dram number 2, so enjoy that. So, dram number 2. This is a new one to the club. We've not had anything from Lindores Abbey before. So Lindores Abbey is down in Fife, and this is their sherry butt batch 2 as well. So Lindores is the kind of the spiritual home of Scotch whisky, as it's described. It's kind of got the oldest reference to making of whisky legally in Scotland. So that comes from 1494, where King George IV asked one of the monks at the abbey, Brother John Conn, to turn 8 balls of wheat into aquavita, which was in those days whiskey. So 8 balls, about 500 kilos, and he turned that into about 400 bottles of whiskey. So that's written in the Exchequer Roll in 1494. Lindores has a massive history, dates all the way back to 1191 is when the abbey started by David Earl of Huntington, and it is overlooking the River Tay estuary, and Lindores Abbey means church over the water. So yeah, it was then bought by Drew Mackenzie's grandfather in 1993. He's the current owner, so he's called as the custodian of Lindors currently. And they started distilling again after a brief period of rest of 523 years in 2027. So that's when they started distilling again. So this is kind of classic lowland, but with this they use a mixture of PX sherry, STR casks, and Oloroso casks. And this is their sherry number. So first of all, again, colour-wise, absolutely marvellous. A little bit lower in the strength, it's only 49.4%. But with that, I think it's just really allows everything to shine through. I mean, on the nose, it's just got everything that you'd imagine of that. It's a bit spicy, cinnamony, but then it's figs, it's dates, it's molasses. It's got this creamy vanilla ice cream underneath that, but then this really lovely cinnamoniness. Give it a taste. Super soft on the palate. It's really round raisins. It's dark chocolate right down the side of the tongue. Cinnamon then rolls across the front of the tongue. It's silky smooth. I think it's so elegant for something that... Sorry, I'm just going straight back in. All of that. It's almost got a red appliness to it, kind of candied apples. But for something relatively young, I think it's kind of got a lot of elegance to it. It's super friendly. The finish is kind of medium long, I'd probably described it. More dried fruits, but then just more of the same. It's got all of that figs, dates, molasses, dark chocolate, and on vanilla ice cream. Absolutely lovely. So that is our dram number 2, the Lindors, the Cask of Lindors sherry release number 2. So I hope you enjoy them, and we shall see you next month. Cheers.